Yes, hello friends. So this is the video tutorial for today's lead code problem of today, 3063606, which is coupon code validator. The question basically says you are given an array length. Are given three arrays of length n that describes the properties of n coupons, code, business line, and is active. The ith coupon has code I, string representing the code coupon identifier, business line I, string denoting the business category of the coupon, and is active, basically denoting that is the coupon valid or not. So, in total, a coupon is valid if it has all of these properties. So, the first property is that code I should be a non-empty string, and it should contain it should only contain alphanumeric characters, which is A to Z, small a to small z, big A to big Z, 0 to 9, and underscore. So, these are all only the valid characters that you have. Business line item should be one of the four values: electronics, groceries, pharmacy, or restaurant. Is active I should be true. So, if all of these three properties are true, then we'll say that the coupon is valid. We have to find the array of codes which are valid, and these have to be sorted. Sorted by the logic that the first should be that they should be sorted by the business logic. So the business line, sorry. So electronics items should come first, then grocery coupons, then pharmacy coupons, and then restaurant coupons. And in these electronics coupon, then we can sort them by lexicographically order in the string. So like if we can see here that is there, yeah, there are two restaurant coupons, right? So restaurant coupon, one is save 20 and another is save at 20, but I don't think save at 20 would be valid because at the rate is not allowed. But let's say if it was save 30, if it was save 30, then how will we sort this save 20 and save 30? In restaurant we'll use lexicographically, so save 20 would come first and then save 30. It's an easy problem, but you have to write a lot of code to implement it. But yeah, it's pretty easy and straightforward. Like the idea, or I don't think I should even explain how to do this. But then see, we'll just traverse over all the codes, or for all the n codes we'll find first see is the business line valid. So how will we check that? That business line should be one of those four values, right? One of the four values. So yeah, we'll check if it is this, if it is this, if it is this, if it is this. If it is in none of those four values, then we'll return false, or we'll say that the code is not valid. Then we'll check that is the code valid. So code I. So first we'll check is business line I valid. Then we can check is code I valid. And then how will we do that? We'll traverse over the code I. Let's say the code I was save at 20. Save at 20. So we'll go over this, and this is a valid character, this is a valid, this is valid, this is valid, this is not valid. So we'll return false. If it is code I is invalid, then again we'll not add it to the thing, to our answer. Then finally we can check is active I. So is active I should be true. So is activate true. If all of these things are there, then we'll add it to answer. But the answer has to be sorted in a order. So sorted in the order of, then first by business line and then by the code I. Now the business line says that, okay. So business line basically says that the it should follow this order, which is give me 1 second. Yeah. So it says that electronics. It basically says that electronics items should come first, grocery items should come second, pharmacy would come third, and restaurant would come fourth. Now here the thing is that this is already in like sorted order in itself. So string E comes first, string G comes first, string P comes then, and string R comes then. But if it was not, so if it was like electronics, then it was pharmacy. Like we wanted electronics item, then we wanted pharmacy items, and then we want grocery item. If it was this kind of thing, and then restaurant, how would you do this? Because see here, you can just maintain a pair of string comma string, right? If it, because these are already in the order that we wanted, like these are already sorted, and then in this string we can keep the business line, and in this string we can keep the code, and then we can sort this pair, right? If we were sort this pair, how this pair gets sorted? It first sorts on the first item, then it sorts on the second item if the first item is it. Like see, how would string ultimately sort itself? If it is a string, will it will sort itself in lexicographically order, and that's why it would be guaranteed that electronics come first, then grocery, then pharmacy, and then restaurant. Okay, this is the case that we want. So our case is simpler, but if it was like this, I'm just giving you a hint. How can we do this? The hint is to not keep this as a string, but to rather keep this as an integer. And how will we get this string like the grocery to an integer is basically we'll maintain the sorted order in a vector. So let's say that the uh, the order we want is electronic, pharmacy, grocery, and then restaurant, right? So we'll maintain a pair of int comma string. So this is the order we want. Then whatever the business line is, we'll iterate over this. Let's say we get grocery, so we'll basically return the index of the business line in this order. So here it would be 0, 1, 2, 3. So for grocery, we'll return 2. For pharmacy, we'll return 1. And for electronics, we'll return 0. So that's why when we'll sort it will sort it in this order because this would be the index of it in this vector or this like allowed, we can say allowed business lines. Right. Hopefully this makes sense. And then then after maintaining this pair of intercomma string, we'll just sort it, and then we'll basically get all the codes. That is the second value from it. Yeah, this makes sense. Let me show you the code. So as I said, we'll maintain a string or a vector of string of all the allowed business lines in the sorted order. So electronics, then groceries, then pharmacy, then restaurant. Right. Then I've made two helper functions here. The first helper function will basically find the business line. It will take the business line as a string and return an integer. The idea here is that we'll have to check if this the business line of the code I or the ith uh, coupon code we could say has the is it valid or not. So how will we check that? We'll go over all the out business line. If the business line matches this, we'll return the index, else we'll return -1. -1 basically means that this is not a valid business line. As I said, we have basically made the string business line into an integer, so allowing us to sort it in the order that we want. Then in the is code valid, we'll basically get the string code and we'll check that if because the question says that the code cannot be like of a zero string or it has to be a non-empty string. You can check here is non-empty. So that's why if the size is 0, we'll return false, else we'll go over all the characters. And yeah, I also got to know this only today that these are inbuilt function in CPP or in the bits std library function. So is alpha will basically see that if the this character is alpha or basically alphabet A to Z or big A to big Z. Is to Z will basically check if it is 0 to 9 and then we'll explicitly handle this that code I should be and so the ith character of the code is valid if it is alphabet, if it is digit, or if it is 0, right? If this is the case, we'll continue, else we'll return false. This code is not valid. And finally, we'll return true because for all of them, we went into this case, right? For all the digits or for all the characters in the code, right? Then we'll maintain this allowed code as I said, a pair of int comma string. We'll go over all the codes. We'll find the business line. If it is -1, that is, it is not a valid business line, as we saw here, right? Well, we are returning -1 when the business line is not matched into any of the allowed business line. If business line equals to -1 or is active by equals to false, so all of these things should be true, right? This should not be -1. This should be true, and this should also be true. So is code valid? We'll check that if it was false. So if any of these cases is there, the code is not valid. So we'll continue. We'll not add to allowed codes. Else we'll allowed code. Else we'll push it into allowed codes. Dot pushback business logic. Business line. Sorry, business line comma code I will sort it. As I said, this will sort it in the order that we want because we are storing the index of it. And in the answer, we'll basically go over all the codes and push only the codes because we do not want this item. Yeah, and finally return answer. This works. Thank you for watching. If you were able to understand anything or like anything new I was able to teach you, give me a like and subscribe, all of those things. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. How do I stop it? Here.